Hello everyone, welcome back to our midweek sales video, which is 60 to 90% off, I believe. Some very good savings indeed, so hopefully won't completely break your wallet.
Yeah, we've got some nice little games here, ones you might not expect to pick up or even know about to pick up in the first place, and we'll run you through them, and please do feel free to put any of your suggestions in the comment section below. So which games are on sale? Well, let's find out. We'll start then with The Wild at Heart. This one only has a couple of days left if you are interested. It goes up until the 30th of August and is currently on sale for 60%, which matches its previous low. This is almost like a Pikmin game where you have to collect up a number of little creatures. I think they're called Spritlings. And it's played from a top-down perspective with a really nice hand-drawn art style. It's quite a tricky game, there's a lot of puzzles you need to solve, and you need to escape from, I think it's the dark, something like that. I seem to remember, I played this one a couple of years ago. Very good game though, and a good price, certainly with this 60% off.
Next up we've got Ken Follett's Pillars of the Earth, which is over 80% off, and I believe down to its cheapest ever price. It's only like £1 or something. Very good game. It's a point and click adventure that uses the same engine that I'm currently learning to try and make my own game, and it's set within the Ken Follett's novel universe. So there's a series of books that you can actually go out and read that are very good as well, and this tries to recreate the quite grim, dark medieval tone that those games present. As I say, this one's down, I believe, 87% until the 4th of September.
Next then we have Rogue Heroes Ruins of Tassos, which is down 75%, again until the 4th of September. And this is a classic adventure game, very much in the style of the old top-down Zeldas, I guess is the best way to describe them, but you can play with up to 4 players, and it does have some modern roguelite elements. We had one of our writers review this for us a while back, and they really enjoyed it. We'll put a card to that review in the top right hand corner if you want the full story, but definitely a very good deal at this current price.
Next up we've got Sparklight, which doesn't actually get many mentions on this channel, I have to say, although we did have, I believe, a dedicated video for it when it came out. Now it's 85% off, down to £2.99 or your regional equivalent, and it describes itself as a whimsical action adventure in the ever-changing land of Geodia. Yeah, now I do remember this one actually. It's a very lovely looking game, and there's a hub area that I believe you work from. The storyline itself features a self-titled baron that you've got to overthrow, and you'll have to go through 5 different biomes, inventing different gadgets to help you solve puzzles and defeat enemies. Yeah, good game this. It is from Merge Games. It's 1 or 2 player as well. I don't think I've ever tried the 2-player mode, and that sale for Sparklight, 85% off, goes on until September the 10th.
She won't watch a world suffer. She won't let the Baron win. She may fall, but she will get up and fight again, and we will help her.
Also on sale we have Dead in Vinland True Viking Edition, which is a game I mentioned in one of our interesting games episodes. If I can find the specific one I'm mentioning, I'll put a card in the top right hand corner. This is 90% off at the minute until the 7th of September, and it's a roguelite where you play as a Nordic family that have been shipwrecked on an island. They've been chased off from their homeland, and you need to basically survive, putting each of the family members to work and training them up, increasing their skills in a number of different areas, and ultimately you need to overthrow like a gang that own the island and are threatening to kill you if you don't give them a number of resources from your own stockpile. It's a very difficult game, and if one of your core family members dies you need to start again. You do recruit other people that you'll find on the island as you go, and it's a bit of a hidden gem in all honesty, certainly at 90% off.
This island was hiding bigger threats.
The Survivalist Deluxe Edition might look a bit like Stardew Valley, and I guess in some ways it is, maybe, but it's more like a unique take on the survival genre in that you can train up monkeys a bit like an algorithm to do your bidding. So if you go out collecting things, they'll follow and copy that. But it can get a lot more complex than that, so you have patrols guarding your area as you've built up your little base. There's a hot air balloon that lands every now and then, so you can buy supplies. And the world itself is actually quite varied once you've gotten a bit further into the game. Now I will say it doesn't really feel like the complete experience unless you have the extra content that this deluxe edition offers, so it's the perfect time really to pick it up. And as it stands, it is currently 90% off until the 5th of September. Well worth a look.
You've got the Megaman X Legacy Collection, which is 60% off until the 10th of September. This, I believe, includes Megaman X, X2, X3 and X4. Now, I've only ever played the first X game. 2 and 3, I believe, were Super Nintendo games, as was that original X. And I think X4 was the first one to make its way onto 32-bit consoles. You can get the other X games in a second collection. I didn't see if that one was on sale or not, but this one at 60% off is a decent price for sure.
Weirdly, I actually played completely through Blasphemous 2 before playing the first game, and I do think I prefer the sequel just because it's a bit more like a Metroidvania, and in that regard it's a bit easier, but the first game is still definitely worth considering. I don't even know if you could call it a Souls game really, it's just a hard action game. There are lots of good boss fights, it has that lovely art style, and obviously the very overt religious themes that you'll see throughout the game are what I think gave it its unique feeling. Now, in one regard, it does have one thing that's much better, I think, than the sequel, and that is the art. The art itself actually used the pixels for the cutscenes and it looked fantastic. On top of that, it's got a great soundtrack, and yeah, it does hit some very low prices as we've got here. And Glen did review this one for us on the channel, so you can go check that out as well. It's currently 75% off until the 5th of September.
Penance never ends, but changes, hurts.
The penultimate game on this list then is Flipping Death, which is down 90% off until the 12th. This was developed by Zoink, who were a Swedish game development team. Another of their games I remember was Stick It to the Man, which I played on the Wii U. And this is a very quirky game full of humour, and another one that we reviewed back in the day. It's just one of those games I think really that's been buried over time on the Switch eShop, one that you probably don't hear much about anymore. So once again, I will put a card up in the top right hand corner, or if that's not possible, I think you're only allowed 5 cards per video, there'll be a link down in the description, but worth considering, definitely at 90% off.
Did the ice cream just talk to me?
Possess and control the living to help the ghosts with their problems.
Got any super glue? Where's that Dr. Laser?
Yeah, baby!
And the final game then is the Yomawari Long Night Collection. This is 65% off until the 1st of September, so not so long to go on that one either. And this has 2 of the Yomawari games put together. You basically play as young children that are lost out at night. In the first game, I believe you go out looking for your cat who runs out into the night. And in the second game, 2 friends go to watch a fireworks show and kind of get lost on their way home. It has quite a cute innocence about it, but with some very macabre imagery as well, which does work quite well. You have a torch that you need to use to help you through the dark streets, and going into the dark is almost certain death. It's another one we have reviewed, and again there'll be a link to it somewhere. As I mentioned, it's 65% off, which is not bad price actually, because this is quite a hard one to find in its physical form these days.
So that's it. Hopefully it doesn't damage your backlog too much. I think there are some nice games there, certainly very cheap prices and worth considering. Do save yourself a bit of money on your eShop credit and get yourself 5% in cash back by buying all of that over at switchup.gg.
Yep, there are also some links down there to other places where you can get bits and bobs such as Joy-Con. There's a PlayAsia link down there as well. If you want to import any games, you get yourself 5% off of your order if you use the link and code. A thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.